Welcome back to The Right Gun. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Help me grow this channel and the community. Well, this is my long format video about my SIG P320 X5 Legion exploding. I've received word back from Sig Sauer, and I've received word back from Freedom Munitions, and I am able to say that we have resolved the issue, and I can do a video about it. I feel comfortable with the results, and now I'm going to walk you through what happened from receiving my P320 X5 Legion, shooting it, having it explode in my hand, and then dealing with Sig Sauer and Freedom Munitions. So we're not going to waste any time here. We're going to get straight into it. So this is the video you may have seen if you've watched my channel before, but you're going to see me at 88 Tactical, and I do have to say the guys at 88 Tactical, when this happened, awesome, great job, very responsive, very professional. So 88 Tactical in the Omaha area, I'm going to put a link down below. These guys are awesome. So you're going to see me get ready here. On the 8th shot, you're going to see this explode in my hand. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, as you can imagine, pretty shocking when that happens to you. First thing you know, you're looking down, the sights, you're concentrating on the target, you pull the trigger, and then all of a sudden, you have an explosion, but it's not the explosion you expect. It startled me a lot. Army vet, so not new, and and shoot a lot of my channel here. So not new to loud explosions, but when you have something explode in your hand, that was a pretty traumatic event. So waved at the camera. The guys at 88 saw that something had happened, waved at the camera, let them know I was okay, and the range safeties came in. I was the only one in the range, so they didn't need to call ceasefire. We picked up the gun pieces and just tried to ascertain what happened. They pulled me off the range. They said, "I think you're done shooting for this evening." I said, "Yeah, I agree. Let's just pack this up, and I'm going to go home." And then over the next couple of days, I was in contact with their senior range safety person, who, again, excellent and professional. So after that happened, you can see here again in slow motion. So we're going to blow this up so you can see this. You can see, obviously several of the parts come off. The slide comes straight back at me, and you can see kind of the aftermath here. Here's a few parts that I picked up. You can see the FCU still in the slide, and that is lodged in the slide there. I could not, and the range officers and I could not dislodge the FCU from the slide. If you know anything about SIG P320s, the FCU is the portion that is supposed to come out. It is modular. You can switch between frames and slides, but that FCU was stuck in there. So the round had expended in there, but it had lodged in the breech such that we could see it. We could see the back of the casing had blown off, but it was just out of battery enough that the guide rod and spring assembly and the shell casing, the FCU and the slide were all acting in resistance to each other. So it was like the FCU was welded in there. We could not dislodge them. You can see the frame there. Both sides of the frame blew out. According to SIG, that's what's supposed to happen. So you may just lose a finger, not your whole hand. If that happens, don't know about that. I still have all of mine, so small miracles. And you can see that the magazine with rounds in it were still in the magazine well. So at this point, the gun exploded. This is all we know. Catastrophic failure of some sort. Don't know what happened. So I go home that night, and just happy to have all of my fingers and my eyesight. By the way, that is why you wear safety glasses at the range. So I could feel the shrapnel hitting my face, forehead, and glasses. So yeah, always wear safety glasses when shooting. Okay, so we're coming to the last part of the video. This is very important, but I do want to stress a couple things. I don't have any cool pictures to show you, because we're going to talk about, the next day I called Freedom Munitions and I called Sig Sauer, explained what happened, so I don't have any cool pictures of that. At the end of the video, I do want to say I will be adding some range footage of the Saturday before when I was running it. Ran flawlessly, Federal 115 grain, store-bought new. So I'll add some of that, and then I will also add some raw video footage of me trying to dislodge the FCU from the slide. That's about 7 or 8 minutes long. I didn't want to put it in here because it was kind of distracting, but it'll be at the end of the video. So the next day I call SIG, tell them what happens. They said, "Oh my goodness, are you okay? Please send us your firearms." So they sent me a Federal shipping label, FedEx, I believe, and I shipped it off to them. I packed up everything, hard case, cable lock, stickers, all that. I just sent everything back to them because I figured, the gun wasn't going to be coming back to me. I just knew that. I also called Freedom Munitions, told them what happened. They sent me a very detailed checklist asking me to kind of recount everything that happened, everything from where I was, what I was shooting, lot number of the ammo that I was shooting, the gun, and kind of what happened. So we'll deal with SIG first. SIG got the gun, and it was about 2 weeks after they received it. The customer service rep called me up. He's a nice guy. He was one I was dealing with this whole time, so he kind of he was the case manager, if you will. And he said, we determined that it was faulty ammunition. It was a hot load or an overpressurized load that shouldn't have been in there. No fault of SIG. You have a couple of choices. If you send us $1,000, you can buy another gun, or we can destroy the gun for you. And I said, well, this is serialized. I had to go through a background check for that. Why don't you send it back to me? They're like, well, we wouldn't recommend that. We'll make you sign some waivers saying you understand that the gun is unsafe. I said, no, thank you. I don't want to buy a new one. I will contact Freedom Munitions and I will try to get reconciliation from them. Now, this is the part where SIG did annoy me a little bit. I won't lie. I was kind of taken aback at their response. So the first thing that annoyed me was the fact that they didn't even offer to send my gun back to me, even though obviously damaged, demolished in pieces, never to be fired again. But that kind of annoyed me. They just said you can buy a new one, or we can destroy it for you. So I had to ask about the getting it sent back, or some other issues. The second thing that seemed to kind of annoy them that I asked them, which then in turn annoyed me, was I asked them for an armorer's or engineering report stating that it was ammunition related, and the service rep kind of seemed surprised that I wanted that. And I said, well, hey, listen, I'm going to Freedom Munitions, who has been I bought thousands and thousands of rounds from them. I want something more than just my word. You say it's their fault. Please provide documentation. So it seemed to be somewhat reluctantly, but they did that. I assured them that I would only send that to Freedom Munitions, which I did. Freedom Munitions accepted it. I said, hey, do you want the gun? I can have them send you the gun. They said, no, we'll take SIG at their word. And then they, reimbursed me. So the whole process took about a month to do. And the other thing that Freedom Munitions did, and I think it's the right thing, they asked me how many more boxes of ammo did I have from that order, and they sent me a second shipping label to package up all the ammo and send it back to them so they could test it, re-assay it, or whatever to determine if there was a faulty batch or whatever. So again, couldn't be happier with the results. All things considered, wish it never would have happened. I said I would be upfront with you if I thought somebody wasn't being on the level. They were being on the level, but kind of just documenting the incident, not flying off the handle at anybody. I tried not to act like a jerk, through this whole thing. It's surprising, if you don't act like a jerk bag, you can usually, people are usually friendly and responsive to you. So all that to have said, was shooting a gun, was shooting store-bought new ammo, well, not store-bought, but, ammo, new ammo from a reputable source, catastrophic malfunction, the round was determined to have too much powder or high pressure, overpressure load, caused a catastrophic failure, explosion in the weapon, contacted SIG, contacted the ammo provider, provided them all the information, kept them in touch with each other, and was reimbursed. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. If you know anybody that this happened to, please share in the comments below. And then again, immediately following this, we'll have some footage of me running the SIG at the range for the first time. That was on a Saturday. The incident happened on a Tuesday night. So I literally shot it for the first time on Saturday. And then Tuesday night is when it exploded. The next video, and that's about 7 or 8 minutes long, is a video of me just trying to dislodge the FCU from the frame, from the slide. And it's just raw video. So, but if you're kind of a gearhead or into that stuff, you could find it interesting. So again, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.
Sig Sauer, P320, X5 Legion, California compliant, manual safety, flat face trigger, and California safe magazine. Start with safety up, just to try it. Yep, safety seems to be working. .320 X5 Legion, 17 rounds. This thing wanted to go fast in that 10-round magazine, so we're going to try to push it here. Woo. So as you can see, so just to show that this is safe, I don't know if I can get it in camera in there, but there is a cartridge, spent cartridge, that is lodged in there. I cannot get it out. I cannot get this out of battery. You can see, took some photos of it, but you can see kind of the remnants of the spent casing in there. Fragments of the frame are still lodged right here. Cannot do the takedown lever. Trigger mechanism and the FCU is completely locked. Again, I have this through here to show that there is no round lodged in the barrel. So again, don't know what happened. Catastrophic frame failure, or was it a hot load from Freedom Munitions? I've shot thousands of Freedom Munition rounds. I've never had that happen, and I've shot a lot of rounds through SIGs, through 229s, 227 and 226s. Don't have as much experience with the 320 platform, but I do own 2 other 320s. The AXG Scorpion, haven't had any issues with that, and the X Compact RMR, haven't had any issues with that. So yeah, you can also see that. So again, I bought the Cali compliant because I wanted it to be safer with the manual safety. You can see that the loaded chamber indicator, the metal notch right there, if you go back and watch in slow motion, I think you can see this shooting off. but it is nowhere to be found. Same with the extractor. Let me get a pointer. It is gone. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I cannot get this apart, obviously. So sending it into SIG, we'll see what happens. Yeah, slightly, like I said, slightly out of battery, but it is locked up pretty darn good. We'll see the frame here. So this frame is, I mean, it looks, you know, completely polymer, but it is, I guess, a tungsten polymer, and you can see right here. So as I was firing, you can see, you know, obviously, because the, you know, the breech is right here, blew out a lot that way, but also blew this way, and this part of the frame is cracked as well. Parts of the beaver tail came off. That's where, again, if you watch the slow motion, you can see this part come back as the frame is coming off. You know, it looks like there's some damage here, or some malformation. Don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. To give them credit, I will say it did feel good in the hand. So, yeah, grip ergonomics were good, but yeah, so just barely, the trigger guard is the only thing that's holding this frame together right here. The magazine I was using, again, since this was the Cali compliant, you know, barely even saw any use. You know, we had a couple rounds left because it was a 10 rounder. This exploded on the 8th round, so the other 2 rounds were accounted for. I have since weighed all of the rounds from this. From Freedom Munitions, they all are coming in at 11.91 and 11.95 grams. So, and I've weighed several other Freedom Munition boxes of ammo. So this was the lot number I was, oops, let me get that. So this was the lot number I was shooting. I put a little check mark on there so I would know that this was the box. And, you know, again, weighed these rounds out. And yeah, they are, you know, they all are within, there's nothing out of, you know, variance here. So this was the 9th round in the chamber. Let me see if I can hone. So this was the 9th round in the chamber. You can see some deformation here. Assume that was from the malfunction. There's a couple better shots of it. Again, just trying to give you all the information, you know, that I have on this. Again, this lot number, again, this lot number is the lot number I was shooting. Again, I don't know. I've shot thousands of Freedom Munition rounds. I don't know what to say. Some people bag on Freedom munitions. Some people love them. I've never had a bad experience. A couple of failures on remanded, but never any issue like this. So I don't know what to tell you. And again, I went through and I weighed every round that was left in this same lot number, and they are all, right around the same weight. And I did that. I compared that to these Federals. These were coming in at 11.6 grams, and these were coming in at 11.9.